you've seen my first Little Nightmares video, which is actually quite long and I might have to redo it sometime soon, you will know that it is one of my favorite games I have, so of course I would review its sequel, Little Nightmares 2. And just like the first game, we open up with a nightmare. And this one is a lot more mysterious than the last. So I'll let you enjoy this. Then we'll go on to gameplay. And just like that, it is over. And we're introduced to our playable character, Mono, the boy with the bag for hat, mask, whatever. Anyway, now let's move on to some gameplay footage. And like the last game, you can run, you can jump, you can climb on stuff like this cage, as well as pick up items. And I will also show you an awesome Easter egg. If you play inside, you know what this means. And you can pick up a variety of stuff. And you'll soon understand why I use this shoe. Soon. And throw. There goes the cage. Now one less trap to worry about. Now let's move on to pushing stuff. And with this little mechanic, you can drag a variety of things, but a few things are too heavy for one person. You can also use cranes to lower or ascend stuff. This will be useful for other puzzles. And in the last game, there are plenty of secrets, but there are only two in this one. The first one is, well, I'm gonna show it to you. Remnant shards. Find these ghost children and then absorb their essence to get a secret ending. That's all I'll tell you of this part. Back to the gameplay. Like in the original Little Nightmares, you can also climb up stuff. But let's just say there are things in this game that can climb up walls. That's all I'm gonna say. Anyway, now let's deal with another trap by using shoes. And then we'll get to possibly the most interesting part of the game. Trust me, it is. All these bear traps kind of remind me of Limbo, you know, bear traps in the forest. However, the one who put them here will meet soon, but now let's deal with this with a brand new element of the game, actual combat. You can use sticks, rocks, axes and stuff to get rid of obstacles and enemies, but I'll cover that later. Eventually, you find yourself in a cabin in the woods, where you will meet a familiar face. Do you recognize this theme? Or more accurately, do you recognize this little girl? It is Six, the protagonist of the first game, and getting an axe will help you get through this door. Another useful combat, which will be very useful in the future. Now, let's see how these two first meet. Rude, but not completely out of character for someone who just experienced another person bringing down the door. I mean, look at the shiny. But they eventually become friends. And together, you can do great things. Like, for example, helping 6 to get up to the attic. And there are other things up there that'll show more of this co-op feature. Like pushing this really heavy suitcase. And other features as well, as I will show after I go into this little thing, of course, with 6's help, to get the keyhole to get to that key up there. I'll be back. Like I said, I have returned, and I got the key, honey. No, that's a bit too much. I mean, after all, they're kids. Though, they could be great friends. Could be. And we now got the key. And this is another thing Little Nightmares does. Little Nightmares 2 does that the original doesn't. We can put the key in our pockets. Unlike the first game, where you have to hold it. Now, let's use it to get to the door on the other side. Oh yeah, and the gnomes appear if you get a special edition. Just wanted to point that out. Anyway, on to the rest of the game, where we unlock this door. Eventually, we come across this guy, the hunter, the one who made the traps. The one who lives here, and the one who is ripping apart whatever creature he is working on. And now, we must escape. We must push through this door. But be warned, the noise will attract him. Unlike the enemies from the first game, he has a gun! A shotgun that will kill you instantly. So either find cover or stay out of sight. Now run! Now we come to the hold hand section. You can hold her hand anytime actually, but certain parts like this are very important, and maybe it'll help build their friendship. Now, let's escape the hunter once and for all. Now just sneak through the tall grass and make sure you stay hidden while he flashes his light, because there's no cover, and he will kill you. And make sure to hold your friend tightly. Now run for it, as I show you something really special. I honestly think the chapter select screen has gotten better, and now it's a TV. I'm only going to show you Area 1, which is a few more films, and Area 2, which is really cool. There's a few things I wanted to show off with the forest before I move on to the next area. for example, helping Six here. And now, she will help us get across. You just need to call her first. Now, a running jump. And there, we now go to the rest of the stage. And there's only one last thing I would like to show. A heart on a tree should be romantic, but we use it to escape danger. Anyway, that's all I wanted to show you with this section. You have to play the rest in order to understand what happens next. Anyway, on to the next chapter. And this is really the first real abandoned city I've been in any video game. It's actually quite creepy. I wonder what happened to this world. But we must go through this door to an abandoned cafe, and it looks like that people died and their clothes are all that's left. Strange. Maybe if we go deeper, we'll find more secrets. Maybe. Or we'll find more mysteries. And maybe even horror. And occasionally, you'll find these portals in these TVs, and you must tune in them by using mono special power. And what you will find is truly interesting. There's at least one for each chapter. This is the first. And trust me when I say, these will show you a secret to the end of the game. And I'll just let this play out. And then we'll come to this area's true identity as the school level. Behind this dumpster is the schoolhouse, and what's in it will truly shock you. But there's something much more important over here that I must show you. Come over here, and you will collect a mask. Or a hat, or whatever you call it. You can collect a variety of them throughout the game. And now, let's go into the schoolhouse itself. Let's see what is in class today. Hint on what is in this building. As well as traps you should beware. In fact, we're gonna come across one very soon. And there are actually two types of enemies: small enemies and big enemies. The big enemies, like the hunter, you cannot really hurt or kill unless it's a final boss encounter. But small enemies, well, we'll have a look at some very, very, very close right now! Those mannequin-like creatures are known as the bullies, and they just took Six. We must get her back. Pronto! And all small enemies can be dealt with. You just need to grab a weapon. And these guys are super easy to kill. Just don't let them jump you, otherwise they will. kill you. Or since this place is filled with traps, why not just use the traps against these pests? Take that. But these are just the students. We'll be meeting the teacher soon. And their teacher is something to behold. She might look normal, but... well, I'm just gonna cut to the bit that shows how abnormal she really is. Quick, must hide. And now, you'll see the truly weird thing about this teacher. She has a very, very long neck. Ugh. Just not right on a human body. She's almost like a Tanystropheus or a snake. If you do not know what a Tanystropheus is, it's a marine reptile. Anyway, now, let's deal with her. Students. Take that, you pesky Pinocchio. Now smash these pathetic creatures in with a feel-good wax and make sure they are shattered. But this one's head is mostly intact. Let's use it to get past a truly mind-boggling army of them and just see the madness these things do to each other. After that, we actually get another chance on destroying these pests. Another time of using their own traps against them. Annoying, violent creatures. They deserve to be smashed forever and forever. And especially after they took in 6, they will all die. Die, I say. Ugh. And this is actually a good excuse to show in the combat. And yeah, it's pretty good against these small enemies. Though, you have to be careful. This thing has a slow wind-up animation, and if you're not careful, yeah. Take 2. Finally found 6. Now, let's rip apart these last 2 boys and get our friend back by smashing this wooden thing and getting her down. Now let's see how she reacts. Now, let's move forward and find our way out of this hell school. And And I want to show a few more things before this review wraps up. Like another example of teamwork. Just climb through this window with a bit of help from 6, and I do not understand why people dissect frogs. Poor amphibians, they didn't really deserve this. I mean, I do not like frogs, but all the same. Anyway, 6 will make a distraction while we grab that pipe and crush this bully's head in. Yeah, it's good to be bad. As well as both of us working together to get this thing open. There's also something else surprising, which I didn't realize until this review, and we'll see it right now! Just as I was about to grab that mallet over there to crush that bully's head in, 6 did something very surprising and very in character with her. Just watch. I'm not even gonna question on fighting her anytime soon. Ugh. Imagine if that was actually a human. Gross. Anyway, on to the final thing I really want to show you. But first, an Easter egg. Remember it? Paper boats. At least there are no vicious clouds. Ugh. From this point on, 6 will put on her most famous thing, her raincoat. And now, this is a perfect way to end the game. There are of course more gameplay footage I could show you, but I don't want to make this video too long. So, like, comment, and subscribe, and let's hope that we'll see more Little Nightmares games. Who knows, I may review any DLC that has come out for this game. There isn't any available right now, but hey, a guy can hope. So anyway, goodbye! The darkness and nightmares hold all sorts of secrets. Maybe we'll discover them in the future, like how this world came to be. What is 6's purpose? And will this world ever be saved? It is unknown. All that we can hope for is to learn the truth.